All right, Wisconsin and Washington State next up on our menu here. We've got Wisconsin 6.5 point road favorites, 58.5 being the total in this game. I mean, you talk about something I got dead wrong this past weekend. It was Colorado State, who a team I thought would be a lot better this year. I didn't see it. I certainly didn't see it defensively in their first game against this Washington State team. But you got to give credit to the Cougars. You know, let's give them credit. Cameron Allen now. This is a guy that's in his second year now as the starting quarterback here with the Wazoo Cougars. And, man, I thought he played really well. You know, he showed great ability, great explosiveness in their offense last week. Very, very impressed with the Wazoo offense. No question about that. Even with Colorado State obviously not playing well defensively, you're able to put up 50 points on the board. And Cameron Allen with 451 passing yards, 37 of 49, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Cameron Ward, I should say. Cameron Ward. I can think of Cameron Allen. Cameron Ward for Washington State. He played great at the quarterback spot. They had it was really a pass-heavy offense. You know, that's something you want to keep in mind. They only had 90 rushing yards. So, you know, you don't want to be one-dimensional to that extent, you know, every game. But Cameron Ward was very good for Washington State. And I thought Washington State's defense would kind of have some problems, and they didn't have too many problems with Colorado State's offense. They kept the Avery Morrow in check. Clay Millen, the quarterback, only 15 of 24, 110 yards through the air, no touchdowns, 1 interception. So he played a really, really solid – they played a really solid defensive game. Now, though, they play a Wisconsin team that, as we know, they're trying to be a little bit more of a pass-heavy offense this year. They're trying to throw the ball a bit more. And you look at last week's game for the Wisconsin Badgers, they were still pretty balanced. In fact, 13 rush attempts for Ches Malusi, Braylon Allen, 17 rushing attempts. So those two combined for 30 rush attempts. Tanner Mordecai at quarterback for Wisconsin had 31 pass attempts. But still, that is, even though they're 50-50 run pass this year, that's, they were a very, very heavily skewed to the run type of team the last few years. So they are throwing the ball more. They've got the quarterback to throw it that way right now. You are now going to, and you are seeing Wisconsin. They didn't go at a breakneck pace, but with Phil Longo there now as the OC, they are definitely cranking up at least the tempo a little bit more. You're going from basically a plodding, extremely slow offense to a slightly above average tempo. You're still going to notice the difference. And we saw that certainly from Wisconsin last week. We know Washington State, they're a pretty solid tempo team, explosiveness. I like the total more than anything here. I think we'll see points. You got both teams that are going to play with some pace, and I totally get why this total, 55 now up to 58.5. I like it. I'm telling you what, though, this is a tricky spot here for Wisconsin, right? You're at home against Buffalo. You got to fly now to Pullman, Washington, West Coast game with laying 6.5 here. It's a very, very dangerous offense. You talk about a team that might have backdoor potential in their games this year. Maybe that's Cam Ward and this Washington State offense. So I don't know if I'd feel overly comfortable, even though I think Wisconsin is certainly the better team. I don't know if I'm fully on board and fully comfortable with laying 6.5. I prefer the total over the 58.5 in this game. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, it's never easy to go to Pullman, Washington. Always not a good trip there. I remember this game last year. This is a little revenge. Washington State went to Wisconsin and beat them in a close one.
Yep.
What was it?
Good call.
17-14.
Yep.
So
in
Wisconsin
Yep.
in Madison wants a little revenge. Wisconsin, going through the box score real quick, had like a little over 400 yards, kind of dominated it, but had turnovers. Obviously, that was Mertz, quarterback. We have Mordecai here. Hey, he looked all right, but he had a couple picks. That will not work out. If he throws 2 picks, Washington is in this one. And, I think Ward's a solid college quarterback. I think the guy's pretty good. And at home, if this keeps creeping, as much as Wisconsin might get revenge, I think this one could be tough for them. I'd like to get over a touchdown, but I'm looking at Wazoo here.